All right, hi there everybody at YouTube, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of the lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass a TOEFL iBT. And I'm just doing another live stream video today, so I will be correcting and evaluating some independent and maybe integrated speaking practice tests here at YouTube. And if any of you guys at YouTube have any questions, you can post your questions below. I think if you ask a question, it'll appear below my video that I'm live streaming here, and then I'll take a look at the questions after each time I grade a practice test. So overall, let me go ahead and take a look and see what I have here. So we have it looks like I have several independent speaking practice tests that I need to grade today. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the one that is submitted, which is the oldest, which is yesterday from December 11th, and I will grade them all the way up into today. So what my online students can do is they can send me speaking practice tests every 24 hours, and I will give them comments in terms of delivery, language use, and topic development. So the first one I will start with here is Maggie. Okay, so she posted one over at my VoxyPop discussion group. All right, let me take a look at this one. And you guys, if you haven't gone to VoxyPop yet, go to voxypop.com. And they're discussion boards, and a lot of students practice their TOEFL speaking by posting responses at VoxyPop, VOXOPOP. All right, let me talk to Maggie here. Yeah, hi there. These comments are from Maggie, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all the lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass a TOEFL iBT. You're one of my online students, and you posted a response to independent speaking practice test number 21. And this particular question, it actually appeared on the TOEFL iBT exam about 2 years ago. So my students will take the TOEFL exam, then they send me an email a few weeks later and they tell me what kinds of independent speaking tasks they were asked, and I add these to my list for practice topics for you guys. All right, so the question is, give 2 solutions that you think can help reduce air pollution. All right, so you say,
if I had to come up with 2 solutions to diminish air pollution, it would be carpooling and also avoiding the use of toxic chemicals.
Okay, I got to listen to what you just said a minute ago here. I got to check your delivery. And I like how you didn't say for 2 reasons. So you stated the 2 solutions right away, and now you explain why you think they would be beneficial.
With 2 solutions to diminish air pollution, it would be carpooling and also avoiding the use of toxic chemicals. First of all,
yeah, that one word, the use of toxic chemicals, I'm not sure, are you saying regulating? So I'm having a little bit of trouble with that particular word.
But I'd advise that everyone use their vehicle a lot less often, and people share their ride.
I'm going to say when you move to your first point, say the first solution to help reduce air pollution is that everyone carpool, right? And then you can explain a little bit more about that.
So the less cars are used,
I would say the fewer cars used. Then, when you're using cars, I would say fewer instead of less, because cars is a count noun, and you want to use fewer with count nouns, less with uncount nouns.
Gasoline is burned, so less pollutants go to the air. And for example, in my neighborhood, carpooling children to school is really popular, and I think it's great for the environment.
Okay.
My second suggestion.
All right, so you gave You gave some reasons why carpooling is important in reducing air pollution, so that's important.
To reduce the air pollution would be avoiding hazardous cleaning practices. It's really popular, and I think it's great for the environment. My second suggestion to reduce the air pollution would be avoiding hazardous cleaning products. For example, I use apple cider vinegar and a baking soda when I clean my shower, and it works great and it's non-toxic.
Really? Vinegar and baking soda, and you're saying that using that is not as toxic as using the normal cleaning agents? I'm going to tell my wife about that. I'm going to remember that. So baking soda and vinegar. And it's probably a lot less expensive than these cleaning agents that we buy in the store, and those agents are more harmful. Now, why am I bringing this up? I like the detail. You're very specific in the examples you're using, Maggie, and that's always a good thing. So the more specific you can be during the TOEFL iBT speaking task, the better your score is going to be. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and listen to the whole response one more time without any pauses.
If I had to come up with two solutions to diminish air pollution, it would be carpooling and also avoiding the use of toxic chemicals. First of all, I'd advise that everyone use their vehicle a lot less often, and people share their ride. So the less cars are used, the less gasoline is burned, so less pollutants go to the air. And for example, in my neighborhood, carpooling children to school is really popular, and I think it's great for the environment. My second suggestion to reduce the air pollution would be avoiding hazardous cleaning products. For example,
You want to say hazardous there, hazardous, so it's a word stress issue.
So I use apple cider vinegar and a baking soda when I clean my shower, and it works great and it's non-toxic.
Okay, now let's take a look at the rubric so we can give you a score here. So I think overall, I think in terms of delivery, you're having some minor issues with word stress. So that's something that you definitely can work on. So in the pronunciation area of my course, Maggie, I think it's 25 through 28 approximately. But check out my lessons on word stress, and remember, there is in multisyllabic words, there is one syllable that needs to be, it needs to have what's called the primary stress, right? So some minor issues with word stress, that was a delivery issue. Language use, maybe some minor issues with your grammar, a little bit on that. Topic development, I think, very strong. You gave two solutions. You gave examples of reasons as to why you think these two things would be effective in reducing the pollution in the environment. So I think, and you had some very specific examples in there to help illustrate your points. And that's a good thing, right? So your score here, I think because of some minor delivery issues and maybe some minor language use issues, it would be hard to get a score of 4 here. So I'm going to put you at 23 to 24 points out of 30, 3.0 to 3.1 out of 4. All right, so now I'm going to send Maggie the comments that you guys just heard at YouTube so she can look at this one. And the main thing for her is, I think if she can reduce some of her word stress issues, I think she can improve her delivery. That's part of my job as a TOEFL iBT speaking specialist, is to listen to my students' responses and try to determine what are the problems in those responses that will cause them problems in getting a high TOEFL score. Because most of my students, maybe like you at YouTube, if you're watching this video right now, you also probably want to get a score of 26. To get a score 26, you have to get very high on all of your speaking tasks. Really, you need to get a score 4 on 4 of your speaking tasks, and then a score 3 on 2 of them, and that will give you the score that you need. Okay, let me go ahead and send this to her. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got about 10. Man, I got 9 or 10 speaking practice tests. It looks like a lot of students are practicing during December to get ready for the TOEFL test at the beginning of the year. So let's start with the next one here. See what we have. Okay, so remember, it looks like there's some people watching at YouTube at this point, so what you guys can do, and I'm getting ready to grade my next speaking practice test here, if you have a question, you can post it in the chat section, and I will check. After every practice test, I will go back to see if any questions are posted. All right, let's go to the next one here. Let's see what we have. So this guy is Ken. Actually, this guy, Ken, he needs his writing practice tests 1 and 2 graded. So give me just a quick second. I'm going to send these over to my teaching assistant, Mike Gonzalez. I'm not going to worry about trying to do those today. I'm just too busy. So I'm going to send him a quick message here. Okay, here we go. We got Nagesh. So this is speaking practice test. Which one is it here? I'm not sure. It says... let me go ahead and download it. Let me see.
The most important event in my life.
Okay, I got it. It looks like this question is... Okay, so choose an event that has meaning for you. Explain how it has changed you. I got it. Okay, now let me get my sound recorder ready here. Testing 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Yeah, hi. These comments are for Nagesh, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And you're answering, it looks like, independent speaking practice test number 2. Choose an event that has meaning for you. Explain how it has changed you. All right, let me go ahead and listen to your whole response once, and then I will listen to it again, and I'll try to break it up in terms of your introduction, the body, and then the conclusion.
The most important event in my life is my high school graduation. One reason is I was initially...
I gotta stop. I have to stop it. Your intonation is beautiful, incredible, absolutely. You are really trying to put some emotion in your voice from the start. I love that. I had to say that. So I like how, it's almost like you're speaking with a smile on your face. Wow. Very nice. Intonation is not easy to get in a new language. And you're making a very good effort right now to vary your intonation. So very, very nice.
The most important event in my life is my high school graduation. One reason is I was initially a bad student. I did not study well. However, when I was in high school, my teachers helped me and motivated me to work hard. With a constant encouragement, I put a lot of effort and finally I graduated with honors. This was the most wondrous moment in my life. Another reason is that it put me in perspective of all the bright things that lay ahead. I was excited to go to college. For these reasons and more, I think high school graduation is a turning point in my life.
Okay, I like it. Now, the one thing I'm going to suggest here is the first idea, when you moved to your first reason, you didn't really have a topic around which you could organize those examples, but basically, the first reason that this event changed you is because you're able to excel or graduate with honors. That seems to be a big idea. So even though you were initially a bad student, you graduate with honors, am I right? So that's kind of that idea. So you needed to frame it. You needed a topic, I think, first before you went to those examples.
Important event in my life is my high school graduation.
Now what I would do there is you might say something like this: well, my high school graduation is an important event because it changed me. It helped me to overcome a difficult situation and get high grades, and it prepared me for my future. So if you say something like that in the beginning, it's very clear kind of what's happening in the beginning of the response. And you can say, first of all, graduating from high school is an important event, because I was able to graduate with honors. And maybe say that, and then give the examples from there. Then say, second of all, this event is also important to me because it helped prepare me for my future, or my future university study. Then you can explain that, and you'll probably have a little bit better, more coherent organization.
One reason is I was initially a bad student. I did not study well.
So instead of one reason is, well, one reason why, or this event is important to me because, and then go on and say your ideas.
However, when I was in high school, my teachers helped me and motivated me to work hard.
And try that word work. It's almost like you're saying work hard, but work. You have to round your lips there. Nagesh, so work hard.
With a constant encouragement, I put a lot of effort, and finally I graduated with honors.
Now here's a key. So finally I graduated with honors. Now, I like your intonation, but here's a tip. As you're saying your ideas, when you get to the end of each sentence, when you get to that last content word, that last noun, last adjective, last verb or adverb, when you get to that last content word, your tone needs to drop a little bit. And then that tells your audience that you're done with that idea and you're now moving on to something else. So that's one thing that you can work on with your intonation. But like I said before, your intonation is remarkably improved. Really, honestly, very, very good.
Most wondrous moment in my life. Another reason is that it put me in perspective.
Another reason is you want to restate your purpose. Your purpose is why the graduation from high school is important. So then you say, secondly, graduating from high school is also important because, and then state it helped prepare me for my future. And then you can develop that. So sometimes, Nagesh, when you're in the body of your response, as you move from one point to the next, you need to repeat or restate key parts of your introduction or restate key parts of the speaking prompt, and that helps give your speaking a very coherent organization. Now here's my tip. Go to my speaking lesson number 7. That's a great lesson. It will teach you 4 techniques, 4 specific things that you need to do in order to improve the coherence in your speaking. So check that out.
Bright things that lay ahead. I was excited to go to college. For these reasons and more, I think high school graduation is a turning point in my life.
Exactly. And not just a turning point, but is an event which changed me forever, you might say. So instead of saying turning point, maybe repeat the word change, and that goes back to the purpose of the speaking task, and then you're a little bit more connected to what you're trying to do. All right, so what do we have? Let's take a look at the rubrics here, and let's see what we're looking at right here. I think delivery is very good. I really liked how you really made a big effort with your intonation, and my main message is keep it up. Now remember the suggestion I gave you: when you get to the end of your sentence, the tone needs to drop a little bit, have a short pause, and then move on to your next ideas. Language use also, I think, was pretty good. I didn't notice any major problems with your grammar or your vocabulary, so very strong in that area. topic development, I gave you some suggestions, I think, during your response on how you can more coherently connect what you're saying back to the speaking task. So I think you had some problems with topic development, as I pointed out. I think this is a good response. Will it get a score of 4? I'm going to say maybe, but for right now I'm going to be safe. I'm going to put you at 24 points out of 30 on this speaking task, or 3.1 out of 4. So I think it's possible that you could get a score of 4, but maybe an iBT human rater may disagree with that and score you a little bit lower because of some minor problems with topic development. All right? Okay, now I need to send her comments. Okay, let's see. Gonna be a long day here. I got about 9 of these. I got at least 9 of my students have posted practice tests over the last 24 hours. Okay, let me email this student. Okay, now what I want to do, I need to double check. I need to go into the folder, make sure that my recording is loud enough. Every day I got to make sure that's my students can actually hear what I'm telling them. Yeah, hi, these comments are for Nagesh and I am Michael. That's good. It's working. So I always got to double check. The first 1 or 2 that I sent, I have to make sure that that's good. All right, let me look at YouTube, see if anybody's posted any questions yet, and I will just keep going. I'm just going down the list. It's exactly what I'm doing. All right, we go back to my email. Let me go to my Voxipod group. Let me see. Okay, I got one over here I can listen to. And a lot of you guys are probably lucky in the sense, I live out in the woods here. You want to see what I'm talking about? I live out in the desert in California. Let me show you my backyard here. Hold on a minute. You got to see this. So the problem is I like where I live, but the internet connection just plain sucks. I hate to say it like that, but my internet connection out here is only 10 megabytes. It's just terrible. But take a look at this. Maybe you can see my backyard out here, but I like living out here, but the problem is I'm away from the big city, so I can't get a normal connection from Charter or something along those lines. I have to get these wireless type connections from antennas and so on, and it's actually very terrible. You can see my backyard back there. Okay, let's go to the next one. I'm going to go to my Voxipod group. We have one more here. Ravinder posted this speaking task about 5 hours ago. I'm going to go ahead and grade this one right now. See, a lot of people, if you're watching this, a lot of people think there's some magic, you know, to getting this high TOEFL speaking. You know, you have to have some magical template and all of this. But when you watch, if you watch me grade these speaking practice tests right now, it's a lot more than that. There's There's delivery issues that come up, there's problems with language use and topic development issues, and all students, as they post their practice tests, they have to work through these problems, and eventually, and my experience is, when students complete anywhere from, students who need to get over 26 in the TOEFL for me, they usually will post about 200 to 300 speaking practice tests that I actually listen to and comment on before they reach their goal. That's how difficult it is to solve those problems. Now, some of you guys have probably gone to YouTube and well, I just studied these videos for one day and I got a 26. And usually that's not how it happens. It really doesn't. It takes time, it takes effort. The students have to practice over an extended period of time. That's really how it happens, how these students get their magical 26 or higher. Okay, hi there. These comments are for Ravender, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL iBT, and you are answering today independent speaking practice test number 100. Okay, so it says, which type of friend is most irritating to you? One who complains a lot or one who says bad things about you behind your back? Wow, I don't like either one of these kinds of friends, but obviously if you have to choose which one is the most bothersome to you, right? So who complains or who says bad things? And that's what we are going to listen to right now.
For me, people who do the backbiting are so irritating, and I try to stay away from those people and do not consider them as my friend. Recently, I had an incident at the place where I was living that I had some misunderstanding with my roommate, and other people took the advantage of that, and they just told her about the things that I had a lot of complaint against my roommate. But when I got to know about the situation, I clarified all the doubts with my roommate, and finally got to know that I should stay away from those people who are involved in doing backbiting. And I believe that they are not even the good people.
Okay, now give me a quick second here. I'm going to go grab some water here. I will be right back. I promise you. I'll be right there. Yeah, I ran about 7 miles this morning right after I got up. So I need to make sure I'm hydrated for the rest of the day. Okay, I got it. Okay, Ravender here. So what we need to do is, I'm going to listen to your response one more time and try to break it up.
For me, people who do the backbiting are so irritating, and I try to stay away from those people and do not consider them as my friend.
Okay, so you stay away from them. You don't consider them your friend.
Recently, I had an incident at the place where I was living that I had some misunderstanding with my roommate, and other people took the advantage of that, and they just told her about the things that I had a lot of.
Now, took advantage of that, but when we go back to the question, we have to look at what you're trying to prove here. You're saying that you don't like people who say bad things about you behind your back. So that's something that I would repeat. I would make sure I say, I at least in my response, I'm going back to that particular idea. And that helps give your response a little bit better connection. So that's at least one suggestion I can give you.
Against my roommate. But when I got to know about the situation, I clarified all the doubts with my roommate, and finally got to know that I should stay away from those people who are involved in doing backbiting. And I believe...
You said backbiting. Good word. Wow. I'm impressed. Backbiting, bickering, murmuring, complaining, right?
that they are not even the good people.
The only thing about this is, I'll be honest with you, I look at the actual question. So which one do you not like? One who complains a lot, or one who says bad things about you behind your back? I'm not even 100% clear which position you actually took. Now, why is that? I think that you needed to maybe restate. You say, I don't like people who complain a lot about things, or I don't like someone who says bad things about me behind my back. You need to be a little bit more explicit, I think, by repeating some of these key words as to which position you preferred and why. So that is my main suggestion. So I'm giving you more of a topic development suggestion, I think, with this speaking task. So on this one, I think you had some minor delivery issues. I think overall you had pretty good control of your grammar and your language use. But the connection of your ideas and how your ideas relate back to either the first or the second position, I wasn't exactly clear on that. So that was a little bit, I think, of improvement that you can make there. Now, to help you with that, you've probably already went through this lesson, but check out speaking lesson number 7, which gives you some good tips on how to coherently organize your ideas. So I'm going to put you at about 23 points out of 30 on this practice test, or 3.0 out of 4. All right? Okay, let's keep on going here. Okay, let's go to the next one here. I think this one is good. Okay, here we go. Hi there, these comments are for Ken, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL iBT. And you're answering independent speaking practice test number 2. Am I right? So, first of all, let's take a look at what this question is. It says, choose an event that has meaning for you. Explain how it has changed you. All right, so let me go ahead and download your practice test here.
People have had important events such as getting married, graduating from high school or college,
Okay, here we go.
or getting hired for a prestigious company. Choose an event that has meaning for you and explain how it has changed you.
Okay. And now you're taking your preparation time. We skip it a little bit. Good luck, buddy. Let's hear how you did on this one.
Begin speaking now.
I had a lot of important events throughout my life, but if I had to pick one, I would probably pick graduating from high school. That's because I felt like this is gonna put me into the next level of my life, and this changed me in a way. And this event changed me like change my behavior, like how to behave in front of people, because I feel like getting into college is like becoming part of.
You got to be more specific in what you're talking about here. So I still think that you're not being precise enough in the beginning of your response to help give your speaking task a better, I think, more coherent organization. So
part of like the society and stuff. So yeah, thank you.
Stop work on the speaking session.
Okay, so what I would do is, let's just put university down here as a key point, right? And then just put independence as a key point. So during the 15 seconds, what if you did this, Ken? You simply write down the word university, you write down the word independence, and then when it says begin speaking, say graduating from high school is an important event because it prepared me for university study and it allowed me to become more independent. How long does that take? Not long, probably 5 to 10 seconds. Say, first of all, graduating from high school is important because it prepared me for my university studies. Then you give an example or two. You talk about maybe a research project you did in high school, how that helped prepare you for the writing assignment you're doing now. You could do that. And say, second of all, graduating from high school is also important because it helped me become independent. And then maybe you can give an example of living in a dorm in a college and how you've learned how to manage your money, buy your own food, and pay your own bills and so on. And this independence you think is important because it's helped you mature as an individual. You see what I'm saying? That's what you need, Ken. You need something more specific in the beginning. You really do. So in those 15 seconds, you need to write down something specific. I wrote down the word university, I wrote down the word independence, and then I use those 2 points as part of my topic statement around which I organize the body of my response. Do you see what I'm talking about? So the good thing for you, like I said before, you have good delivery. What I want you to do, Ken, on some of your speaking, I think I told you this before, but on the next practice test, I want you to take anywhere from 15 to 60 minutes. I want you to write out the entire speaking task, write it all out, make sure it's really organized in the beginning like I'm suggesting here. Then you have your 2 support points, you have your details, you have a conclusion. You practice it several times, make sure it's 45 seconds or less, and then post it for me to comment on. So I think you need to do a little extra practice to feel. You need to feel what it's like to deliver a 4.0 out of 4. Because right now your focus is not that great and you're not very precise in the vocabulary that you're using. All right, so what is your score here? What are you going to get here? I think in this one, some language use issues, some topic development issues. Overall, like I said before, you have pretty good delivery. All right, so I'm going to put you at 2.83 out of 4, 22 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. So once you get your organization and your development figured out, once you can do that, I don't think it's going to take that long because of your pronunciation is so good. You will be able to score very high on the TOEFL, but you need to solve these problems right now. And once you solve them, then you're going to be a lot better. All right? Okay, so I'm done with Ken. I'm going to send him a quick email. Here's a guy right here, the one that we just listened to here. This guy's got a lot of potential, I really feel, and his goal is to get way over 100 and to get 30 out of 30 on the speaking, but the way that he's approaching his speaking right now, he's not at that level yet, but I feel probably in about 4 to 6 weeks, I will have him where he needs to be, and he will get I have a good feeling, I'm not going to say necessarily 30 out of 30 on speaking, but I feel he'll be at least between 28 to 30 points in the speaking section. As long as he solves the problems that he has, right? That's the whole name of the game, is to solve those issues. All right, we got a good question here. I'm looking down. Okay, so it says here, I think my problem with speaking is that the themes are so random sometimes. They are. They really are. They really are random. I mean, one time on the TOEFL exam, one of my students got this question, compare two artists. Think about it, right? So your question is, the topics are random, how to develop key points in an organized manner to talk fluently. The main thing is you should be practicing random topics. That's what my students do. For example, at my website, the online TOEFL course, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL iBT, I have over 300 different topics. What I tell my students to do is to just pick a number, right? So they'll pick a number between 1 and 300, and they will pick that topic, whatever it is. They'll take the 15 or the 20 seconds, they'll try to jot down some key points, then they'll organize it in that manner. So you see what I'm saying? And you're welcome, I just got your comments there. So what I would say for you is practice random topics, be aware that not all, and here's what a lot of students will do. Let me give you an example here of something. It says here, here's one of my topics, describe a place that you visited as a child. What is your favorite memory of visiting this place? Compare that to the second task. Choose an event that has meaning for you. Explain how it has changed you. So the second topic, you could say, well, graduating is important for me. It has changed me for 2 reasons. You could use that kind of template, right? However, with the first one, you cannot use that template because it's saying describe the place and then what is your favorite memory. So for you, Alexander, the name of the game is you have to be prepared for different kinds of speaking tasks or topics, and then you have to know how to organize your response accordingly. So sometimes you can say, well, it is blank for 2 reasons. But I discourage the 2 reasons response because I don't really think it's kind of a predictable, contrived type template that thousands and thousands of students use. They come to my website and, well, the event is important for 2 reasons, and I tell them not to say that. So like I was giving the suggestions to Ken a minute ago, and I'm talking to you right now, Alexander, if you get this topic about, why is it important, give reasons or whatever, so you say, well, graduating from high school is important because it prepared me for university study and taught me independence, right? See, if you state those 2 points as specific ideas, then it becomes very easy for you to organize your response. All right, so I think that is part of my response to you. Now, the good news is, Alexandre, the good news is even though the independent speaking task can be fairly random, if you look at integrated speaking tasks 3, 4, 5, and 6, it's actually fairly predictable what you need to do with those kinds of tasks. You know with integrated speaking task 3, for example, you know that you have reading, and then you have listening, and then you have speaking. You know it will be about what's called a campus-related topic, so the introduction is very easy. You just state, well, the main point of the reading passage is, and then the listening passage supports this point by, and then explain how, and then you have your introduction. You can use that template for speaking task 3 and also 4. You see what I'm saying? Now for 5 and 6, these are more listening, speaking, either campus-related or academic. So basically in these, you're just mentioning something from the lecture. You're trying to explain the purpose of the conversation. Right, so with speaking tasks 3, 4, 5, and 6, there are some fairly easy ways to organize those tasks. So how about this? What if you get a score of 4 on speaking tasks 3, 4, 5, and 6? You get a score of 3 on speaking tasks 1 and 2. What does that score give you? 26. It's exactly what it gives you. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what you're looking for. You're not trying to be totally perfect, but you're trying to get at least a score of 4 on 4 of your speaking tasks. All right, so let's keep going. Let's go to the next one here. So I just sent my comments to my next student. Now, if you got another question that you want me to answer, you can post it. Okay, I'm going to my next student here. And I will check a minute ago, Alexander, after I get done with this practice test. If you get another question, you can post it, and I will try to answer that as best I can. Now, if you know anybody else that's interested in preparing for the TOEFL, by the way, now I know not everybody wants to spend money on the internet, but I'm telling you, what if you only had to spend $45 for 1 month, and you would have unlimited access to over 700 lessons? Vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, reading, listening, writing, and speaking. And guess what? In my course, for $45, all these students I'm commenting on, they only pay $45 for 1 month. And I listen to their speaking tasks on a day-to-day basis, no joke. And I give them comments, just like you're hearing now. Okay, let me go ahead and give comments to this student here. All right, hi there, Saruthi. And I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL iBT. And I'm listening to, it looks like, one of your speaking practice tests. I'm going to go ahead. It says here, if you were to move to another city in your country, which city would you choose? Why? And be sure to give examples and reasons to support your choice. All right, here we go. And good luck.
Hyderabad is my favorite city in my country. It is the capital of Telangana in India. I have 2 reasons why I like this place. First, people.
You're taking too long here, and you're using a contrived template. I have 2 reasons. But what if you just said this? Los Angeles is a place I'd like to move to because of the educational and the employment opportunities. Think about that, right? So you're exactly stating what your 2 reasons are without saying I have 2 reasons to support my point of view. That is what all students do on the TOEFL exam. I don't recommend that approach to these kinds of speaking tasks.
I really like the people of Hyderabad because they are very helpful, down to earth, with sweet voice and heart.
I would say with sweet voices and hearts. Now be careful. You want to make sure that you're pronouncing those grammatical word endings. Sometimes when you're speaking, you're not putting your S's on the ends of your nouns, so be careful about that.
I love the way they communicate with each other. The girls from Hyderabad are very simple and sweet, wearing Indian traditional clothes. Next is food. I love Hyderabadi chicken biryani.
Next is food. Why are you telling me this information? You want to say next. I also want to move to this city because of the variety of food they have there. You need to frame it like that. That's a general idea, and it's more of an argument, and then you find the examples to support why you believe the way you do. So you need to frame things a little bit more differently than what you're doing here.
I know varieties of dishes that they make with Indian spices. No matter from where you are, you cannot hate the food from Hyderabad.
No matter where you are, I wouldn't say that. Just say if you move to this city, you will be able to enjoy the tasty food that they offer. That's how I would say that, because you want to connect this back to the purpose of the speaking task, which is why you would move to that city. Let me listen to it one more time.
Is my favorite city in my country. It is the capital of Telangana in India. I have 2 reasons why I like this place. First, people. I really like the people of Hyderabad because they are very helpful, down to earth, with sweet voice and heart.
You're giving too many of these big ideas. You're not giving any examples. If you say they're helpful, you have to say, for example. And then talk about someone who is helped by a person in this city. And that would help support what you're saying more. So you're saying all of these general ideas, but you're not giving examples for any of the points.
I love the way they communicate with each other. The girls.
And how do they communicate? Are they polite? Are they respectful? Do they always ask people, how are you? And they offer help if needed and so on. Again, you need details in there, Saruthi.
From Hyderabad are very simple and sweet, wearing Indian traditional clothes. Next is food. I love Hyderabadi chicken biryani and all varieties of dishes that they make with Indian spices. No matter from where you are, you cannot hate the food from Hyderabad.
Okay, so let's take a look here. So I think this one, there's a lot of issues in different areas, but I'm going to focus more on topic development on this one. So I think what you're saying, it needs to more directly connect back to the purpose of the speaking task. So you can achieve this through two things. Number one, you need a little bit better introduction. Your introduction was way too long and you weren't very specific, right? And then once you're done with the introduction, then you need more specific, more clearly framed topic sentences there to introduce the support points and the different parts of your response. Here's how I would do it. So taking the information, if I had to move to another city, I would move to Los Angeles because of the employment and the educational opportunities. First of all, Los Angeles is a great city to move to because of the many employment opportunities it offers its residents. Then I give an example to support that. Second of all, Los Angeles is also an attractive place to move to because of its educational opportunities. And then I give an example or two to support that, and then I am done. You see what I'm saying? So I need to be very precise in the example. So if I talk about Los Angeles, I talk about UCLA, I talk about USC, I talk about Cal State Los Angeles, and so on. I talk about the different universities there and how students can get different kinds of degrees based on which university they attend. And Los Angeles is the place that offers all those things. I can also talk about the jobs and be specific. There's a lot of companies in Los Angeles that offer jobs to people all around the greater Los Angeles area. All right, so your score here, I'm going to put you at about 2.1 out of 4, 17 points out of 30 on this. So I think you have some delivery issues. If you go to the pronunciation area of my course, I'd like you to focus on syllable division and grammatical word endings. Language use, Saruthi. Again, you need to be more precise with the vocabulary that you're using to help illustrate. The examples need to be more precise, and topic development, again, you need to better connect what you're saying back to the purpose of the speaking task. So your score, 17 points out of 30 on this practice test. All right? December 12th. Okay, I'm going to send a quick email to this student. Okay, so I'm looking at Alexandra's comments. Good. So you said, thank you again. My answer is to you, you're welcome. No problem. All right, let me get to my next student. So you can probably see by that last one there, if you're not, one of the main things is what you say needs to directly connect back to the purpose of the speaking task. So in that last one, I gave that student the lowest score so far today because a lot of what she didn't really directly connect back to the speaking task. And she wasn't very specific in the examples that she was using. She's talking about too many different ideas without giving examples for those points. Do not do that, Alexandra. on the TOEFL exam. Does that make sense? You definitely do not want to do that. All right, let's keep going. Okay, my next student today is Marcelo. He's doing integrated speaking practice test number 3. So reading, listening, speaking, campus related. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Marcelo, and happy holidays to you, sir. And I'm going to listen to your integrated speaking practice test number 3. And as you know, I am your online TOEFL teacher. So let's hear how you responded to integrated speaking practice test number 3.
There are some reasons. Vertical states that there are some reasons why students go to school. For example, the students can go to the school to learn about.
Wait a minute. So what does the listening do? How does the listening relate to the information in the reading? So make the point clear in the beginning before you move to the reading or the listening passage. Right? So the reading passage discusses a reason why students go to school, and the listening passage gives additional examples to illustrate this point. If you say it like that, then we know exactly how the reading and the listening are connected. Make that connection, Marcelo. Make it right in the beginning of your response.
Geography or learn about how to administrate a business. Furthermore, in the listening passage, the students presents also points that support the previous ideas. For example, the students have gone to school to learn about geography and how.
For example, according to the reading passage, students go to school, or according to the listening passage, put more voice markers in your response, because you're framing this from the third person point of view, Marcelo. You're framing this as a summary, not as your own idea. So the more voice markers you put in there, the listening says, the reading claims, the speaker also argues, the last point made is, if you frame it like that, then we know exactly that this is a summary, right? So this is a topic development comment that I'm giving you, so make sure you frame the information as a summary.
Among this as well, and consequently take care about the environment. The second point was about learning how to manage a business. And the listening passage stated, example that.
So the second point stated, or secondly, the listening supports the information in the reading by giving additional examples, blah, blah, blah. You see what I'm saying? So still you need a little bit better way to connect that listening back to the reading. So some minor connection issues.
Then they went to get an MBA and to administrate their family's company. Well, that's why those are the reasons that the students go to school.
Okay, I think I have it pretty good. Well, let me listen to it one more time.
Vertical states that there are some reasons why students go to school. For example, the students can go to the school to learn about geography or learn about how to administrate a business. Furthermore, in the listening passage, the students presents also points that support the previous ideas. For example, the students have gone to school to learn about geography and how the mountains are formed, and consequently take care about the environment. The second point was about learning how to manage a business. And the listening passage stated, example that a friend went to get an MBA and to administrate their family's company. Well, that's why those are the reasons that the students go to school.
Okay. All right, I'm ready. Let's take a look at the rubrics now. I think overall you have a pretty complete, accurate response, but I did give you some suggestions with topic development, right? So that's part of how you can improve. Language use, One comment I would give you is the listening states, the reading claims. Make sure when you're explaining other people's ideas, you can use simple present tense verbs to do that. You don't have to do past and then present, present, past. Keep it framed from a simple present point of view, simple present verb tense. Delivery, you're getting there. I'd like to see you work on your intonation. I know this is a bit of a problem for you, but I'm going to keep on it. So you need to vary your intonation a little bit more. So as you get to the end of an idea, remember, when you get to the end of a sentence, right, the tone drops a little bit. But every thought group which precedes the final thought group, the tone actually is a half pitch higher. So you say, well, the reading passage claims that blah, 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 right? So I say claims, and that's the end of a thought group, so my tone is up a little bit. But when I get to the end, the last thought group in this sentence, my tone drops. So go to pronunciation lessons 41 through 40, no, pronunciation lessons 36 through 40 to learn more about intonation. I think that's one thing that you can improve on. Still, you have a pretty good response. I'm going to put you at about 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 on this practice test. Okay, let me send an email to him. This guy, I really feel, if he keeps practicing, he's got a very good shot at getting 26. He still has to work out some of these pronunciation issues, but overall, he's definitely working very hard. He's on track, I think, to getting close to 26 or higher the next time he takes a TOEFL exam. Okay, I think we are good here. So I'm emailing Marcelo, and just to email him, it takes about 40 seconds just to send the 5 megabyte video to his email. That's how slow my internet connection is. And one more question, Alexandra, I'm gonna talk to you about here for just a minute. If you're still listening, I don't know, but if you are, the fluency thing is important, right? So you're saying how to develop key points in an organized manner to talk fluently. Fluently means that you're not making too many pauses, but you also have to make sure you're pausing appropriately. And the best message I can give you is you want to pause after approximately 4 to 5 stressed words, and you want to have a pause, and you have another 4 or 5 stressed words, and then you have another pause, and so on. And that helps give you the appropriate speed and pacing that you need to sound or speak more naturally. Now, my goal, really, when I help my students, if they get a high TOEFL score, I'm happy that it's good, but my main goal for students who take my online TOEFL course is to help them develop long-term academic English language proficiency. Or if they need English for their job, or they have English for personal purposes, or whatever purpose they might need English for, they will be able to do very well in all those different areas. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, Marcelo is done. Okay, so we got Rafael. Let's take a look at this one. Now, if you guys get bored and don't want to watch the video anymore, it's okay, don't worry about it. I have to grade these no matter what, right? So what I'm doing is every now and then I'm gonna do some live stream video feeds at YouTube. So I really believe that students can learn a lot by listening to other students' practice tests and then hearing my comments, and they can figure out what works and what doesn't work. But really, you got to be honest with yourself. I highly recommend that you consult. You don't have to use me, but you should be using a TOEFL iBT speaking specialist to give you comments after you do your speaking practice. I'm telling you, a lot of students, they cannot figure out these mistakes on their own. They simply cannot do it. Most students are not capable of doing that. All right, let's go to Raphael here. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Raphael. And I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons, and happy holidays to you. I love saying that. This is a Christmas part of the year, and guess what? I got a 30-day vacation right now, but I'm working on my website. But when I say vacation, it means that I do not have to teach any writing classes or any ESL or any TOEFL preparation courses at California State University, San Bernardino. 4 weeks, baby. What I'm going to do, I will do my website, I will do my online TOEFL course, and that is all. That is it. And I consider that a very good vacation. All right, so your question here is, what is the biggest academic mistake you have ever made? Describe the mistake and what you learned from it. Use specific details and examples in your response. Here we go.
The biggest academic mistake I've ever made was not studying every day in a math class. Well, I didn't study, I didn't practice, and I didn't follow the suggestions made by the professors, and that's why I almost failed in that class. Well, what I learned from that...
I like it, what you're doing there. So you've described the mistake first, and then you're repeating the second part of the question by saying, what I learned from the mistake is, then you explain that, so you're making sure that you're answering both parts of the question. Very good.
Is the fact that if I review and if I practice every day, I will have a better performance and I will comprehend in a better fashion every content approached by the professors. And
a little bit awkward how you said some of that information there. Let me listen to this again. I don't know if it's a language use or a delivery issue. Let me listen one more time.
Better fashion every content approached by the professors. And in addition,
I can't quite figure out what it is, but that's a problem right there. I'm going to be honest with you. Right there, that issue, I couldn't quite understand what you were saying.
Perhaps more important is the fact that the last days before the final exam will be characterized by by the atmosphere of peace instead of anxiety or stress.
Now, when you get to the end of your response, say, additionally, I learned that. So I would repeat that word learned, because that word learned is important, because that ties back to what you've already said, and it also goes back to the purpose of the speaking. All right, so overall here, I think you had fairly good topic development, but not perfect. I think you had some language use, some minor delivery issues with this response. I think we'll bring the score below 4. So I'm going to put you on this one about 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 on this practice test. All right? Okay, so I need to send this to him. Got it? I'm going to email this to him, and I will go to my next practice test. Okay, I have a couple more to go and I will be done for today. Okay, so we got Sora sit. I'll just call Sora. It says, please listen to, evaluate, and comment and score integrated speaking practice test number 11. There's nothing attached to the email, so how can I grade it? Hold on a minute. Let me go ahead and send her a quick message. Unless she posted it at VoxyPop. Let me see if she did that. Yeah, I don't think so. I'll send her a quick message here. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Sorasit, and I am Michael, and you sent me integrated, it looks like integrated speaking practice test number 11. However, there is no audio file attached to your email, so could you send that speaking to me one more time so I can listen to that? All right, thank you. So I like to talk to my students, and my online students I will never meet in person, but I still like to give them videos and audio files and things like that. I want them to see me, to see that I actually, or hear me, that they know that I care about their studies. Even this one, even though she didn't do a practice test, I still like to talk to her. And it gives them good listening practice. Okay, so this one is done. I'm going to send this as an MPEG layer 3, an MP3 audio file. This student doesn't like my normal audio file, so I need to open up a document here. Tools, let's go audio, voice narration, here we go. Okay, hi there, these comments are for Saruthi, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL iBT, so you're answering an independent speaking practice test. Now don't forget, is only send me one speaking practice test every 24 hours. I want to be able to give comments to all my students, so if everybody follows that one rule, I'll have enough time to talk to all my students each day. All right? So the question here is, when a person dies, family members often inherit the material possessions of a deceased loved one. Upon your death, what valuable object or material possession do you have that you would consider giving to a family member or friend? Why would you want the family member or friend to inherit this object? So notice the difficulty here with language use is the word inherit. So I want my friend to inherit my house. I would want my friend to inherit my diamond ring because. So that word inherit is a little bit difficult to use, or at least some students find difficulty, but the actual question gives you clues as to how you can use that in your response. So that's maybe a good tip for you for today, Saruthi, is when you look at the speaking task, it will usually tell you and give you some tips as how you can answer it and what kind of grammar you can use when answering it. Okay, so let me go ahead and download this one to hear your response.
Unfortunately, if I pass away, I'll be handling my most valuable and prized possession, which is my house, to my daughter. It is the place where so many memories live for both of us, like feeling.
I like it. So you're pretty specific. You're not just giving this to anybody in general. You're giving this to your daughter. So I like how you're very specific. Now I need to check your language use here for just a minute. Give me a second.
Unfortunately, if I pass away, I'll be handling my most valuable and prized possession, which is my house, to my daughter. It is the place where so many memories live for both of us,
Okay.
like feeding the birds in the backyard.
What I would do is it's a place where I would say I would want my daughter to have this house because of the memories that it has.
Rolling the Easter eggs down the front hill, sitting on the screened-in front porch, playing cards and drinking lemonade. Every room is filled with our family pictures. The reason why I want to present this property to my daughter is she is my sweetheart, and most of her childhood memories were present in that house. Unfortunately, if I pass away.
So it would be a reminder of all of those things, right? So overall, let's take a look at the rubrics here. Let's see what we have. Overall, I think delivery, I think you had fairly clear pronunciation. I mean, I could understand most of what you're saying. I think you had some minor language use issues, some minor topic development issues, as I pointed out. But still, I think this is a pretty good response. I'm going to put you at about 23 to 24 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. All right? Oh, I think I might have messed it up. Okay, now I think I may not have saved this file correctly. Of course I didn't. It's 43 megabytes. Okay, I'll have to redo that one. Okay, that is it. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done. So I have all of my speaking things graded for today. Looks like nobody has any more questions. Thank you for watching my video here, my live stream broadcast of grading my students' independent and integrated speaking practice test for December 12th. And there you have it. That's kind of where my students are. This is how they're doing. And so on.